Couldn't go through this week without bringing up Proverbs 11:11. It is short, but it carries a lot of weight. So let's look at what it says. Proverbs 11:11. By the blessing of the upright, a city is lifted up, but by the mouth of the wicked, it is overthrown. Right? So here's the deal here. When we read city, we tend to think big governments, nations, large groups of people. And yes, it does apply there, but scripture often works from the inside out. So let's look at what a city is made up of, right? It's made up of people, which means this verse applies just as much to your home, your relationships, your workplace, even your inner world. And what this really means is that environments are shaped by the people in them, and people are shaped by what they speak. Right? So the blessing of the upright is not just saying nice things, it is speaking life and truth in alignment with God. And it is encouragement that is rooted in truth, not flattery. It is words that strengthen, guide, and build, right? And scripture says that kind of speech lifts things up. It stabilizes environments. It creates safety. It builds trust. And then it'll contrast here with the mouth of the wicked, right? So notice it does not say actions first, it says mouth, because words are often where destruction begins. Criticism tears things down, gossip spreading quietly begins destruction. Harsh words spoken in anger, constant negativity over time, those words do something. They erode, they chip away at relationships, and they create tension in the nervous system, and they shape how people see themselves. And eventually, what was once stable begins to break down. And that is why scripture says it can overthrow a city. If it can overthrow a city, it can overthrow a person, one single person, right? So now let's bring this kind of into how we were wired as human beings, because neuroscience shows that words are not just heard, they are experienced. And when someone speaks harshly, the brain can register that as a threat. Stress hormones increase, the body tightens, and over time, repeated negative speech can actually rewire how a person thinks and feels. And the same is true in the opposite direction. Encouraging, truthful, life giving words can calm the nervous system, they can build resilience, and they can literally help rewire the brain towards safety and stability. Right? So when Proverbs talks about lifting up or tearing down, this is not just poetic language, this is reality. And most people underestimate the influence, right? They think it's just words. This is just how I talk. This is just who I am. But your words are shaping something. They're shaping your home. They're shaping your relationships. They're even shaping your own mind. And because here is something we often forget, you hear your own voice more than anyone else does. So the words you speak are not just going outward, they're also going inward. And if your speech is constantly negative and critical or harsh, your brain is absorbing that. But if your words are aligned with truth and encouragement and life, your brain is being shaped in that direction, right? So the question is not just what you are saying to others, it is what kind of environment are you creating? Are people around you able to breathe? Do they feel built up or do they feel torn down? Does your presence bring steadiness or tension? Right? And this is not about perfection. It's about awareness. Because once you become aware, you can start to shift. You can pause before you speak, or you can choose truth over reaction, or you can ask, is what I am about to say going to build someone up or tear them down? It doesn't take that long to ask yourself that question. Stop before you speak, because this is what it means to walk as the upright, right? Not perfect, but intentional. And here's the beautiful part. When even one person begins to speak differently, it starts to change the environment. right? Peace increases, trust grows, and stability returns. That is how a city gets lifted. That is how a relationship, a marriage, a family, a work environment, how they all get lifted, one voice at a time. So, as you walk away from this today, I just ask you to sit with this question. Are your words building, or are they slowly tearing something down? Because according to scripture, they are doing one or the other. And the good news is you get to choose.